Alright, before I start my build, I thought I'd spend some time to talk about the electronics that I plan to put into this truck. Maybe talk about some of the styling options, what I have in mind on doing, and then I will jump into the build video, right? So let's just kind of run through what we have here. Let me, oh, I don't have to put in a battery on this one. Okay, so let me just speak about this very quickly if I can. Okay, all right, so okay, so this is the remote that I chose to go with. I have some other remotes in hand, as I have the NB4 FlySky, which is a more expensive and more complicated remote, but I didn't like how that was a pistol grip style remote. I wanted a stick remote control. This is how semi-truck RC drivers will used to have. So something like this would be a very nice control in hand. We can pinch, or we can use our thumbs to drive. This kind of remote kind of give access to multiple features on the go. While you're driving, you can use multiple fingers to access different buttons and different functions, so on and so forth. Now, I do not know what brand, I mean, there's no branding on this remote. Foreign people outside of Asia or China would probably not even know this thing exists. This control pretty much is famous in the RC tank, remote control tank community, and I think it is I think this is a drone-ish controller as well. Interesting thing is it has two antennas, as you can see. It's articulated. You can position it any way you want, and the funny thing is there is a phone holder as well. You can pull it up and you can slide your phone in or slide the screen in for FPV view, which is kind of interesting. Now this whole thing is made out of plastic, pretty cheap plastic, not cheap enough to say to have a flex or something, but sturdy enough to hold its own weight. Button and knobs feel okay. There's a switch. This may look like a screen in the middle, but it's not. It has no functions or features, not that I know of anyway. The battery compartment has like a LiPo battery built in. I just stuck a foam in so that the battery doesn't rattle. It comes with a lithium ion 800 milliamp 3.7 volts, which is probably good for a couple of hours at least, and it has a USB port for charging at the bottom, so you can actually charge this thing up. So simple, cheap remote and easy to use, and it's an 8-channel remote. Now this remote comes paired with this unit here. It's called the RC35. Again, this is a Chinese brand. If you Google it, you probably can find it under Canshou, C-A-N-S-H-O-U. And I couldn't find any reviews for this RC35. There's a CS 16 that is very similar, but I cannot find reviews for this RC35. So when I bought this, it's a bit of a risk. I do not know what are the full functionalities and the features. There's a diagram on the website, but really there's no video really to see, you know, how it works, how it functions, and so on. So this thing is a receiver, is a ESC, and has a lights and sounds controls, sound features, so pretty much all in. And the size of this is really, if I look at it, it's about 4 centimeters long, and it's about 3 centimeters wide and 1 centimeter tall. So a lot of people are going to ask me, you know, if it's going to fit in the cab, in the Scania cab. I think so, right? But can we make it look neat inside? It's the question, right? The other thing is the speaker. So it comes with quite a large size speaker here, and although it sounds good, I need to probably find a slimmer speaker so that we can keep it in the cab. Okay, and So let me talk about it a little bit more. I have a gear servo plugged into it here, and I have just the standard N20 size motor plugged in as well. Just for reference, I do have a N30 500 RPM motor coming on the way, which I will use for the build, but for now this is just for reference. Okay, I'll show you the sounds and some of the features, but I'll talk about the lights when I turn it on. So I'll just plug it in very quickly. This is a JST plug. I like JST plugs for this kind of micro stuff. So once you turn it on, you can see there are two lights here. So this will be the start button. The first button on the top left will be the start button. This is a stop button. This will be the auxiliary lights, and if you long press, it will be hazard lights. This will be the headlights and the high beams, and also if you long press, it does some flashing lights for all the lights. This button on top initially is a button for a vibration motor. You can actually connect a vibration motor to this unit as well to give the realistic cabin vibration for the models. You can also use this for a smoke machine if you want to. Now this button here is a horn, the horn button. To drive this, the left stick is the throttle control, forward and backward, and this will be the left and right controls. Now let me start it up. Okay, the volume is too soft. Let me increase the volume. So there is also some settings in this chipset that you can play around with, and to go into the options menu, you have to turn off the engine and push it upwards throttle wise. Settings. Then you go into settings,
volume adjustment,
and then you can hear the prompts.
Decrease volume, increase volume, increase volume, increase volume, already maximum, decrease volume, engine sound.
So this is the first sound. That's the first engine sound. Let's go to the second engine sound. Alright, there's the second one. Let's go to the third one. Right, let's go to the next one. So this obviously is a car sound instead of a truck. I don't know why they put it in as a truck sound, doesn't make sense. I don't even know what sound is that, it's weird. So it cycles back, so I kind of like this one. There's about 4 or 5 sounds altogether.
Horn sound.
So this will set the horn sounds. This is horn number 1. Horn number 2, which will probably annoy the shit out of everyone. This is gun sounds for some reason if you have a military truck. Second gun sounds for military truck as well. This is a car horn. It's like a train horn. This is probably like a truck horn, right? So I'm going to stick to this one.
Sound of turning signal.
So sound of turning signal is, do you want the clicking signal sound when you turn left and right? So you will hear the clicking signal. Do you want it on or off?
Off. On.
I want it on, and I'll show you that in a bit.
Sound of reversing drive.
Sound of reversing drive is the beeping sound when you reverse your truck.
Off. On.
So the options is turn on and off.
Turbine sound on off.
Turbine sound on off means this is the turbo sound, the spooling sound, the whining turbo sound. Just you want it on or off?
Off. On.
I want it on.
Language. Yeah.
So there's two languages, it's just English and Chinese.
English.
So I'll keep it at English, and then
Volume adjustment.
and then it cycles back to volume adjustment. So there's these couple of options you can play with, and if you want to exit the menu, just
Engine sound. Exit settings.
Just hold it up for 2 seconds and it will go out of settings. Now let me start the engine again. So you can hear the engine start up. Right, if I press the horn, it will be right. So if I turn, you can hear the signal sound. If I were to accelerate, you can hear the sound and kind of notice the turbo whine as well. Yeah, the very cool thing is, yes, you can hear the turbo whine, and then you can also hear the sound of the air brakes when you brake, and then when you release the brakes, it has another follow-up sound as well. Let me demonstrate that again. Very cool. I like that a lot, right? Okay, so you have that difference in the engine sound, and if you reverse, you can hear the reversing beep as well. So when you release, again, there's this air brake release sound, which is very cool. You can hear that, which is very nice. Okay. So again, these are lights. These are aux lights. I have not plugged in all the lights yet, so these are some of the samples that I've just plugged it in just to test it out. So you can see some of the lights here. Some Christmas lights going on, I do not know why. Yep, so there's a couple of options that you can play with. Now, let me turn off the engine so that you can hear me better. So, I noticed that there is one slight problem with this sound unit, which is it doesn't have a reverse light. So this unit, while it comes with a brake lights, it doesn't come with a reverse light. So one workaround for me would be to connect the reverse lights to this vibration motor port. So when I want to reverse, I have to click this and it will turn on the reverse lights, and that will kind of act as a reverse lights before I throttle backwards to reverse. So Not perfect. That's one thing that is missing on this unit. Thought everyone should know if you want to get it, is it doesn't have reverse lights. Everything else is the same as the CS16, except for this one has a working ESC, and it doesn't have reverse lights. Just a quick one again, just to show you guys the ESC. It has a port for the ESC, and it doesn't move the ESC if the engine is not turned on, which is also a very nice feature. So it only runs when the engine sound is turned on, and I can okay. The servo works as well. You can see. So let's see, right? I'm planning to use this. I think this is a very comfortable size. I like this remote a lot, especially for something that is on a micro scale. I think when the Scania has been built up, it's probably about the size of the truck, which is going to be handy. You can put it in a small tight container and bring it along, which is something that I really like. So I hope this fits in the cab, and we can arrange the wiring to make it look neat, and then it'll be nice. We'll see about that. I'll update again. The other couple of things that I plan to do, let's just move some of this wiring stuff away first. I have additional speakers as well. I don't really like these ones. These are too thin. I think the sound would not be good. But if I have to use this to save some space, I have to. We'll see about that. I actually got the brushless motor as well. But again, I think I can't use this because the unit that I have comes with a built-in ESC and doesn't have a channel for the, it doesn't have a free channel for the servo. So that's the downside. So this is the ESC, and this is the brushless motor, and I got the 1 to 50 reduction one. I want to test this out really on a truck, but maybe my next build I'll need to use a different remote and receiver, then I can use this set. But yeah, it should be pretty sweet if I can use this. I could probably swap this out with my other Orlandoo models as well to kind of test it out. So we'll see about that. Maybe I'll build a second truck and I'll use this one. Very nice. I won't be using this on this set though. The other things that I have in mind is, so I got some scale figures, 32 scale figures. I want to put in a driver. I think this guy will be very nice. This is a racing set, so there's a racing driver that will look weird in a truck. I want to see if I can swap out the head, but I could probably fit this guy in. He has a working cap already. His face is not painted. I probably need to throw some eyes in there. The hands are partially articulated, so you can kind of move the hands. I'll need to warm up the legs and bend it, or maybe chop it off, or depend. We'll have to see how it goes. On top of that, I also bought the this is again 3D printed Scania seats. Hopefully the model kind of fits on it just nice. It looks like it will. Or maybe the figure is bigger than the seats. We'll see about that. So these are 3D printed seats, and I also got some decals. This is going to be the Westward Scania shop decals, and looks very nice, very nicely printed, very high def. It has the 770S new generation, and it has the torque figure scale, the torque figure diagram here as well. So these are the things that you will slap on the truck, and it's going to be a white truck for these decals, and I hope it looks sweet and nice. On top of that, I think I got some of these chrome stickers as well. Not sure whether it's going to show through, so that I can highlight some of the details. There are different model numbers here for me to use as well. There's a 580S, there's a R650, there's a R730, there's a 770S, 500S, 730S. Big Scania logos, and there's a Griffin logo as well. This is really sweet. I'm thinking of putting this on. We'll see about that. We'll have this chrome edge as well, have a couple of chrome strips down the grille. This, I would assume, will go down the back fender of the truck. We'll see about that. I'm going to paint the fender white as well. A couple of V8 logos. Very nice. I can't wait to do this. Couple of items that I've also ordered but is still on the way would be the differential. So I did order the Orlandoo differential. I'm still waiting for those to come. I have a couple of trailers as well coming on the way. So these are some of the plans before we start the build, and I hope it turns out well. I can't wait to get it started. So yeah, looks really awesome. Until then, stay tuned for the next updates as we continue to start the build. Okay, thank you guys.